Okay, everybody, welcome to week 2 of the 30-day challenge. This is the basics practice. Start with Ardha Uttanasana. Place your hands on the wall at the level of your chest. Take your feet as wide as the sticky mat. Have your heels wider than your toes. Move your hips back, away from the wall. Reach your chest towards the wall. Lift your kneecaps and lock your elbows. You can also bring your feet hip distance apart, still making the heels wider than the toes. Moving the hips back and the chest forward. Okay, now feel free to repeat that. Otherwise, we'll do downward dog with the hands turned out at the wall. Again, start with your feet as wide as the sticky mat and start with your heels lifted upwards. Straighten your arms, straighten your legs. Lift your hips away from your hands. And then reach your heels back and down as you move the fronts of your legs into the backs of the legs. Pushing into the wall with your hands. If this is okay, bring your feet as wide as your hands, with your heels still wider than your toes. And now walk your hands back for Ardha Uttanasana. So Uttanasana with an intense stretch. So now the hands are on the floor, but feel free to use bricks to get the concavity to come in your upper back. Lift your chest. Once you have that concavity in the back, you can take your hands wider apart and release your head down. Take your elbows out to the sides. Keep your kneecaps lifting well. Reach your ribs down towards your elbows. And then return to concave back. Bring your hands to the fronts of your thighs and come up. And prepare for standing posture. Starting with Tadasana, bring your feet together. Press down through your heels. Lift up through your kneecaps and lift your chest. Bring your head back so the crown of the head is right over the tailbone. Raise your arms out to the sides. Revolve your arms and lift your arms up for Urdhva Hastasana. Straightening your legs, straightening your arms, lifting up through the sides of your chest. Rolling your outer armpits forward towards the front of your body. And then bring your arms out to the sides and down, back into Tadasana. Bring your hands to the chest. Take your arms wide apart. Turn your left foot in. Turn your whole right leg out from the top of the thigh. Lift up through your kneecaps. Bring your left hand onto the hip. Lift your right arm up and then reach out. Keep drawing your right thigh bone deeper into the hip crease. Roll your left shoulder back and bring your right hand down to your leg. Straighten your legs, lift your chest, and roll the top shoulder back. Move your right buttocks forward and move your head back as you take the top arm up. Come up, pull up with your top arm and come up out of the pose. Turn your toes forward, then turn your right foot in, turn your whole left leg out from the top of the thigh. Bring your right hand onto the hip, revolve your left palm upwards, and then start to reach. Draw that left thigh bone deeper in, lengthen the left side as you bring your hand down to your leg. Straighten your legs, lift your chest, roll the right shoulder back, and bring your top arm up. So bring your left buttocks forward, Bring your head back. And come up out of the pose. Turn your left foot in. Bring your arms and your legs back together. Feel free to repeat that. Any of these poses you can repeat a second time. Just pause the video and repeat them and then restart it. Take your arms and your legs wide apart. Turn your left foot in. Turn your whole right leg out. Bring your hands to the hips. Bend your front knee. Get your knee right over the ankle. Moving the inner knee to the outer knee. Get your hip as low as the knee if possible. Straighten this left leg. Lift up through your chest. Lift up your arms. Straighten the front knee. Turn your right toes forward. Turn your right foot in. Turn your left leg all the way out. Bring your hands to the hips. Bend the front knee. Make sure the knee comes right over the ankle. Move the inner knee to the outer knee. Straighten your back leg. Get your left hip lower and then lift up your arms. Straighten the front knee. Turn your left foot in. Bring your arms and your legs back together for Tadasana. Place your bricks for Parsvakonasana. Take your arms and your legs wide apart. Turn your left foot in, turn your whole right leg out. Bend your front knee, come back into Warrior Two without letting the upper body come forward at first. Just keep the upper body back. Bring your left hand onto the hip, turn your right palm upwards, and then come down and bring your hand down behind the leg. So move your right knee back into the arm. Straighten your back leg, pressing into the little toe side of that back foot. Roll your top shoulder back. Bring your head back, lift up your arm, turn your arm, and bring that top arm down towards the back of your ear. Lift up your left arm, pull yourself up out of the posture. Turn your right toes forward, and then turn your right foot in, turn your whole left leg out, come back into Virabhadrasana 2. Bending that front knee. Bring your right hand onto the hip, turn your left palm upwards, bring the arm up, reach all the way out, and then bring your hand down to that leg. Move your left knee back into the arm, straighten the back leg, lift your chest, roll the top shoulder back, take the top arm up, turn the top arm and bring it towards the back of your ear. Lift your arm up and come up out of the posture. Turn your left toes forward. Bring your arms and your legs back together. Stand in Tadasana. So we'll repeat now, downward dog. But I know on the sheet it says hands at the wall, but I'm going to change it and we'll have the heels at the wall. Okay, so you can experiment with this. So for the heels at the wall, I start on my hands and knees. Of course, have a blanket for your knees as needed. Notice that my feet are pointed, so it gives me a good measurement. Turn your hands out a little bit in front of the shoulders, roll your toes under, and then lift your hips up and push your heels back into the wall. Not too high up the wall. Push the heels back. Stiffer bodies, again, take your feet as wide as the sticky mat. Otherwise, work with your feet as wide as your hands. Pushing the heels back, lifting the sitting bones upwards, straightening the arms and the legs. Now walk your feet towards your hands and come into concave back Uttanasana. Again, the feet can be hip distance apart. They can be as wide as the sticky mat. Push into the floor, lift your chest. Take your hands apart. Remember, you can have your feet as wide as the sticky mat if that's better. Come back to a concave back. Bring your hands to the fronts of your thighs and come up. And now lie down on your back for Chatushpadasana. So have a belt handy. And place a single belt around the fronts of your ankles. Bring your feet as wide as your hands. Roll your inner arms to the outer arms. Turn your feet slightly inwards. Press your feet down and raise your hips up. Pull on the belt and lift your middle buttocks higher. Climb up onto the top of the shoulders. Get up onto the top of the shoulders. And release. Once again, hold onto the belt. Turn the tops of the arms outward. Press your feet down. Lift up your hips. Don't let your knees splay apart. Roll the outer thighs up, the inner thighs down. Pull on the belt. Lift your chest. Lift your hips upwards. And then come down. One more time, Chatushpadasana, four-footed pose. Hold on to the belt. Turn the tops of the arms out and raise your hips up. Pull your arms down, lift your hips up, and then release. Take the belt to the side. To prepare for Shavasana, move the flesh of your buttocks away from your back ribs and stretch out your legs. Hold on to the sides of the sticky mat and stretch the sticky mat away from your ribs to move the ribs away from your pelvis. Turn your palms upwards. Bring your hands to your body and deepen your breath. Bend your knees and roll to your right side. Keep rolling to that same side. Come up with your head being last. And then we use our magical phrase, yes, I practiced my yoga today. Yes, I practiced my yoga today. Namaste.